It's graduation day, and students and parents are excited about moving on to high school.
Okay, thank you. Here we come.
But 2 years ago, Will Rogers was a school in crisis, with many kids 2 to 4 years behind in reading and math. This is the story of how the staff set out to change this dismal picture and get their kids back on grade level.
This is a large middle school. There's 1,400 students here. And all of our feeder schools come into this one middle school for grades 7 and 8. In the last 3 years, the school has been in program improvement. And this means that we're not meeting our academic targets as set forth by No Child Left Behind. You actually have a large population of students who are 2 or more years behind in their grade level. The students who come in that far behind definitely have special needs and have to have some kind of an aggressive program that's going to address where they are and, of course, raise their achievement. The goal, of course, is to raise them at least 2 or more years in a year.
But school leaders realized that to pull this off would take a radical intervention. They needed a comprehensive program that would give all their kids a chance of success. So 2 years ago, they invited educational expert Dr. Bonnie Grossen to implement a plan to turn the school around.
It's going to turn around and really help their academic skills. You know, it's the only program I've ever seen that fills the holes while it continues to have them reach their grade level. Yeah.
All right, everybody, the first word, what word? Next
The
word.
proposed intervention centered on 2 research-based programs. The REACH system for language arts.
That word is opossum, everybody.
And the Connecting Math Concepts, or CMC program, for math, which emphasizes understanding of basic skills and how mathematical concepts are linked together.
We add or subtract?
That was really nice.
To help Dr. Grossen implement the programs, Sharon Otto was brought in as a full-time teacher, coach, and program facilitator. These math and English programs would dominate the school curriculum. At-risk students would attend up to 3 periods of language arts and 2 periods of math every day, pushing out traditional core classes like social studies and science, and this would continue until students had mastered basic skills. Will Rogers teachers needed convincing that such a radical program would work. Many were initially skeptical.
No, I just wanted to say a lot of the frustration, I think, is that the district pulls programs in and then pulls them out instead of leaving them in place for 5 years, 6 years to really see if they're working. And we get real frustrated because we get a new program 1 year and then 2 years down the line we get another new program and then they try something else.
It is radical, and it's not easily acceptable either to a lot of teachers. Obviously, our science teachers and our history teachers feel that their curriculums are equally important and the students might be missing something. But when we really look at teachers and talk to them about, well, can they read the history book? Can they deal with the science curriculum? The reality is no, they can't. Raise your hand if you think you spelled it right. Spell copied.
C-O-P-I-E-D.
Okay, how many people spell it C-O-P-I-E-D?
Buy-in grows as the teachers experience success. So the first key thing is to set up an implementation so that the kids and the teachers experience success, which means they have to be well trained, and then we immediately coach them, work side by side with them, doing demonstrations and modeling the kinds of teaching behaviors that make it work well.
There are 5 key elements in the program, all of which must be implemented faithfully.
Good. Letter C. 800% equals what?
1. Students are grouped according to their skill level and started on material they can handle.
We can put a word in place of hard to make that statement
2.
true. Tell me
Teachers
that word,
use
that word
scripted
is.
lessons to bring students to mastery on a given set of skills before moving on to more complex material.
Your greeting to the kids is great, like, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do part C, and then just
3.
go on a
In
page
addition
reader,
to
get
teacher
ready to write
training
sentences,
before
make
the
words
beginning
that
of the
begin
school
with the
year,
first word of the
teachers are
sentence, and just
continually
say that.
monitored and
This is
coached
favorite
to refine their
piece of
technique.
capitalization. So don't get stuck on that so long that it slows your lesson down. Just tell them what it says and then go for your sentence.
4. Progress monitoring is built into the system so that students who are falling behind or teachers who are having problems can be quickly identified and helped.
Let's have Carlos read that.
And 5. The school dedicates classroom time for remediation. 80 minutes a day for CMC and 120 minutes a day for language arts.
The programs have already designed benchmark testing within each level of the program so that very quickly as teachers we can understand how our students are doing, what are their levels of mastery, if they're struggling on areas, what are those areas of deficit. And so very quickly teachers have accurate feedback on what are the strengths, what are the weaknesses. And so immediately then they can attend to those problems and to decide at every point then, are we remediating, are we accelerating, how are we moving through the lesson so that we're always making decisions based on the data of the program.
She pounded the table. Get that chain. The sooner I sell, the sooner I will catch Perchy.
Because so many students needed help with English and math, teachers of music, art, and even phys ed were recruited to teach REACH and CMC.
I'm doing what I have to do. That's necessary for them. I mean, I do value music, obviously. It is what I like to do, and that's a big part of my life. However, we need to prepare them for the future. Like, some of them don't know the multiplication tables, even now. That's a problem. That's the basics. That's the core basics. If you don't know, if you're struggling with your subtraction, addition, and multiplication, it's kind of hard for you to move beyond to the next part of math. Let's go to page 136 in your textbook, 136. What I see from this particular curriculum is that they do many things at the same time. So we're doing many different areas of math. And I think what they are connecting is how each one of them is interrelated to one another.
Nice job. Good. Nice forward landing. 9 feet, 9 inches.
I wanted to be one of the people to help the intervention process go through, and we went through the whole summer training program for it. I thought it'd be a lot of fun to help the kids. So I could tell by some of the work that they would even turn in physical education class, some of the writing, that they needed help with their reading and writing skills.
Okay, find part B. I'll read what it says. Follow along. One way to test whether a word is a noun is to put an S ending on the word.
The kids like to come into the classroom because they know exactly what to expect. They come in and they grab their books, they get the lessons out, the books out, and pens and pencils. They exactly know what to go on.
The words writes and listens make sense, but they are not nouns. They tell an action, so they're verbs. Raise your hand if you got everything correct that time.
For the kids who need it, who need to be up to grade level, it's really good for them. And I think that if they can see their improvement, then they're going to realize why they did this and they're going to appreciate it.